Hey guys, Bad Infos here, and these are my 10 favorite characters in Grand Theft Auto 4. This game has some of the best characters in the whole franchise, and the people you come into contact with are many. That's why making this list was not an easy task. I'll not include the protagonist Niko Bellic here, because I'll make a separate 10 best protagonist list in the future. Anyone else is allowed a spot. Let's see who I picked, and I would love to see who you chose as your favorite as well. Without further ado, here are my 10 favorite characters in GTA 4. The number 10 spot goes to Cat Williams. Oh yeah, it's one of those lists. One with people you may have never even seen. Well, I think that Cat is great and is allowed to be here. Even though we can't control him or even interact with him, he is located in the Split Sides Club. When entering, he could be on stage if nobody else emerges from the curtain. Cat talks about being short, about drugs, about there not being cats and dogs in the game, all very interesting topics, and his delivery on them is spot on. A real entertainer in my opinion. Unfortunately, not many people would ever see him in the game.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on, that's my fax machine. Got it. Alright then, let me open up the refrigerator. Who left my shower curtain open like that? That is ridiculous. Somebody's at the door. Hello? Hey, come on in. Let's sit on the couch.
Number 9 goes to Elizabeta Torres. Finally a character you might actually be familiar with. She is mainly in the list because of her big heart. Yeah, her two big hearts. For real though, they are huge! How does she get any work done is beyond me. They probably weigh a ton. Her hearts, I mean, of course. Anyway, that's besides the point. I love how powerful Elizabeta seems to be. She is cocky and that's usually annoying, but not for this character. She is a lot better in the first DLC because we learn a lot about her childhood and why she's like this. But we're not talking about that right now, we're only focusing on the base game. That's pretty much it though. She can be hardcore, sometimes even goofy, happy or even paranoid.
So I'm gonna go to prison for a long time! So my life is over! Oh, all this work for nothing, man!
Number 8 goes to Ray Bocchino. There are many quote-unquote bad guys or antagonists in the game. I guess I would classify him as an antagonist too? If not, then definitely a bad guy. Ray likes getting his own way, he's often demanding, but again often kisses the ass of the people in charge. I was hoping that he would kiss Niko's, but Niko for him is probably a nobody. I mean, look at how much he screams at him. Yep, a man with two faces. One moment he would do anything to get the appreciation from the boss, the next he just straight up lies, manipulates, and screams at his workers. Bad Boy Ray is awesome in that regard, and his voice actor does a splendid job showcasing all his different traits. Money is all on his mind, and he would do anything to get it. One thing is certain though, despite how demanding he can be sometimes, he at least can be very loyal, a man of his word. Sure, he sometimes lies, but if it wasn't for Ray, Niko would have never found the character on the number 7 spot.
I know how it is! Yeah, I know how it is sitting around with $2 million worth of stolen ice waiting to get jumped, if that's what you mean, brains!
That one being Bernie Crane, who is openly gay. Say what you like about gay people, love them, hate them, but Bernie had a very impressive role in the game. Personally, I have no problem with gay people, unless they're constantly in my face and extremely fake-like feminine, if that makes sense. Bernie is one of these people, but for some reason it doesn't bother me. He's funny in all of his cutscenes. He's also paranoid of haters killing or hitting him. I mean, he can't even have a nice jog in the park without somebody yelling "Die faggot!" from across the street. That's disturbing and it's what many people like him face every single day. Yeah, I know this got a little bit political and philosophical, so I'll stop. Just know that Bernie is an essential part of the game, and without him, it won't be the same.
I'm so glad you've come back into my life, even if you did try to kill me. I'm so excited!
Number 6 is Peggy McCreary. Peggy would be on the number 1 spot for many people, and I see how that can be the case. We have many friends in the game, most of them are too over the top, too scared, too macho like. Peggy, on the other hand, feels very real, in real life. That's usually how you interact with your friends. You make fun of each other, go out for drinks and talk about tits and ass. Peggy is like a real life friend, and that's why he's so relatable to me. Sure, I don't go around robbing banks and killing senselessly, kidnapping chicks and fighting off tens of armed people with a weapon, but you get my point. I feel like Peggy is the brains of the family. While everyone else has something to contribute, Peggy is the one pushing everyone to do something beneficial.
Word to the wise though, she don't put out. Which is convenient, because if she did, I'd have to kill you.
Number 5 is Marni Allen, another very weird entry for many of you. You may have never even seen Marni if you have never beaten the game at 100%, but she's the real deal, guys. Marni is troubled, an addict ready to sell her body for a measly $5. Just put yourself in her shoes. You are addicted to something, that you would be willing to go to a stranger's house and do naughty things and who knows what else for $5, which would not do much for you. The sad thing is that this happens in real life and many people have it worse off than her. If there's one thing to take away from GTA 4 is that you shouldn't do drugs. I know you're tired of hearing it, but this is what it does to you. Marni is a mentor in that regard and an essential part of the game. Sadly, she did not have a major role in it, but her story touched me like no other. Yeah, Nico lost family, Mallory lost her husband, and she's with child, but Marni's story is tragic, and if you haven't seen her in the game, then please go check her missions out.
Hey, mister, come back here. I'll fuck you for $5.
Number 4 goes to Brucie Kiboots. Alright, enough sadness, let's get down to business. Brucie is absolutely hilarious in this game. Also, an important note here is that I'm placing here characters from GTA 4. I don't count missions and cutscenes from the DLCs. That's important to note because, in my opinion, Brucie was completely ruined in the Battle of Gay Tony. You may not even see him when I make the 10 characters video in the DLCs. Brucie in GTA 4 is very over the top, always talking about chicks, about his biceps, about money and so on. He is so over the top that I'm surprised how he functions properly. I had a friend like that in my university days. He was just like Brucie, always screaming, always excited, always punching stuff, and I couldn't handle it anymore. I'm the complete opposite, calm, collected, and also an introvert. People like Brucie are a lot to handle for me. In the game though, he is perfect.
Yeah! Man, I'm ready for you, Nikki. I'm ready. I'm ready for fucking anything. Yeah!
And now is down to the final 3. Number 3 goes to the only person who I cannot understand in the game. Little Jakob is next. While Marni is an addict of heavy drugs, Jakob lacks that sweet weed. You never see him without a bong in his mouth or hand. Ryder was very high up in my top 10 characters list for GTA San Andreas. At least I understood him. Jakob is equally as addicted, but his speech is what gets me. You probably know by now, but I love accents. I just can't get enough of them. I always try to find podcasts and other videos where Russians and other Slavs are the hosts, because of their accents. Even though I can't understand maybe 70% of his speech, Jakob is awesome. He is a true friend and a big help in the game. I owe everything to him. He helped me get money from his side missions and found the killers of the person Nico loved at the very end of the campaign. Jakob, you are great, Rasta.
Fat bumbleclap pussy old girl, you know this? Shot in her bumbleclap. Hey, yo, don't touch
what's
this.
wrong? What's wrong?
Number 2 goes to Roman Bellic, my dearest companion in GTA 4. He could have easily been up on the list, but the other guy on top is a bit more likable. Even people who have never played the game know who Roman is. He is the cousin, wanna go bowling guy? That has become a meme and what people remember when GTA 4 is mentioned. Personally for me, he constantly wants to go play pool and not bowling, but that's besides the point. He is the person I care most about in the game. Sure, I love Brucie, Peggy and Jakob, but if you put a gun to my head and tell me to kill 3 of these 4, then Roman will be left alive. That's weird of me to say, considering that I prefer the ending in which Roman dies, but I feel like that should be the proper way the game ends. GTA 4 is tragic, and Roman bit the dust at the end. It was sad seeing him go, but that's how it should be. Roman, you were like a brother to me, you fat
You're an asshole, Nico Bellic! A disloyal user! After what I did for you, you dick! You fucking dick!
And finally on the number 1 spot I'll place Dimitri Roskolov. Yeah, I know, in most of my lists the antagonists are on top. It's not like I care about the people who help me in my journey, but the antagonists make the game enjoyable. They have a goal. The goal here is me mashing my foot so far up Dimitri's ass that you will be able to see my toes popping out of his mouth. Dimitri's death was maybe the most satisfying one out of any game ever released, especially in the ending where Roman dies. His speech at the end was so great, it felt rewarding and a big accomplishment. Nico finally got closure and it was well deserved. Dimitri made Nico's life a living hell, always pursuing him, trying to kill him all the time, burning his belongings. Even Roman felt the burn, he lost his cab business and so on. Dimitri is not a man people should mess with, but Nico sure showed him who is really in charge.
We can pick the game, Nico Bellic, but we cannot change the rules.
And that's it guys for all the best characters in GTA 4. If you don't agree, let me know which ones you like the most. Subscribe to my channel for more top lists, lists of best cutscenes, best games and whatnot. Thank you so much for watching and a very special thank you to my 2 lovely Patreon supporters, one of which being Alex Chavez. Thank you guys and I'll see you in the next episode.